James Mack on the wave every morning, every day. Got the 92.7. Tune in, don't delay. Political news and the commute update. Updates on the morning takeover. Stream live, stay awake. Like and subscribe. He got the content all the time. Share with your crew. Live on YouTube, don't be shy. He's got the facts straight, never leads you wrong. James Mack, breaking news before the final gong. From city lights to the small towns beat, bringing stories real and raw. Notice me on the morning takeover. It's your daily fix. Tune in or you'll miss the ever-rolling mix. From the Capitol Hill to your neighborhood block. James Mack on the airwaves, always on the clock. He's the man on the street with every beat. Delivering the truth, making your morning complete. Got interviews inside from coast to coast. A voice you can trust, he'll never boast. James Mack on the
And good morning to everyone. This is the morning takeover on 92.7 FM on your dial, WKRA. I'm James Mack, your man on the street, and we have a real good show, as we always do, on the morning takeover. Welcome. Tell everybody. James Mack and the morning takeover is on the air.
He's got the facts straight, never leads you wrong. James Mack, breaking news before the final gong. From city lights to the small towns beat, bringing stories real and raw. Notice me on the morning takeover. It's your daily fix. Tune in or you'll miss the ever-rolling mix. From the Capitol Hill to your neighborhood block. James Mack on the airwaves, always on the clock. He's the man on the street with every beat. Delivering the truth, making your morning complete. Got interviews inside from coast to coast. A voice you can trust, he'll never boast. James Mack on the wave every morning, every day.
And good morning to everyone that's on, that has joined us this morning. Wow, what a week we're having in America. We have so many interesting things that have happened, and I'd like to say good morning to everyone that is joining us on the morning takeover. I'm James Mack. I am your host. This is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. Each and every morning at 9 o'clock Central Time, we come on with the with news and information that you can use to inspire you and to inform you on the things that matter to you, whether it's your community that you live in, the community that I live in, or wherever the communities or locations you may be, whether you may be in your homes, your places of business, riding along in your automobiles, listening to the morning takeover. Thank you, and I appreciate you being here. Listen, I'm going to give our forecast on today. Listen, we've been getting a little soaker around here. Every now and then we get in our region, in our WKRA region, we getting showers on and off, but more rain for the Mid-South today, helping to keep our temperatures in check. The highs will climb into the low to mid 80s with scattered showers, and rain will be remaining, and it will be just some light showers, and they'll start from south of I-40, meaning that they're going to come over. And we have experienced nothing really terrible. And, don't put your umbrellas away. We got more rain tonight, and we got more rain tomorrow morning. Showers will taper off as we approach the weekend, and the afternoon highs will climb back into the 90s, and we'll be in the 90s for much of the week. So in Oxford, it's 75. Olive Branch, it is 75, and it is 74 at WK. in Holly Springs, Memphis, Shelby County area. And you all just stay dry. I'm sure our grass and our wonderful flowers and beautiful flowers and plants will appreciate the weather and the water that has been there to refresh. I'd like to say good morning to everyone that's in our YouTube chat. I'd like to say good morning to I Said What I Said. It's good to see you, and it's also good to see June's Poetry. It's really good to see all of you, and to Yvonne Moore, and to Karen Cox, and to all of you that are here. Welcome to the Morning Takeover. We have an interesting show. This morning. There are questions that people have about whether or not we're ready as a country to have a woman president. There's been some questions, and there's been some, some people have concerns. People are rejoicing with the announcement of the Vice President Kamala Harris, that is has been deemed the Democratic nominee for the office of president. Real historic moment. She's not the first woman. Ms. Hillary Clinton was our very first full nominee of a political party in our country to be nominated for the office of president, which is a great achievement. I've been happy because now I think that the political process is in full swing. Also, there's a story that we're going to lead off with our morning news. We're going to lead off with a story that, to me, has given me some real solace and some concern. We were informed, and if you have been looking on the various media outlets, the tragedy and the unalivement of a woman that called for assistance. This black woman was calling for assistance at her home, and she felt that someone was trying to break into the house or something like that, and it ended tragically with her unalivement. And it's sad to see that this tragedy had to go forward in the state of Illinois. This is where we're getting this story. It says body cam footage was shown of the fatal unalivement of Sonia Massey. She was 36 years old, black woman who called 911 for help. And released on Monday was the body cam video. And we have a segment of that audio that we want to play of this situation. It is tragic, people, that this officer, that his name is Sean Grayson, he has been with 5 different police organizations, and somebody along the line should have said something. Somebody should have opened their mouth and said something. If this person has been at different departments, there should have been some kind of background check that should have been done. And, people, they do background checks on everybody, even on the, there's some sleazy people in social media that try to destroy people and they should have did the same. They should have did a background check on them, checking on people, trying to find out where they live and their mail and who they know and all these other things. I have nothing against that, but there's some good ways and then there's some bad ways that they're used. They should have really used this and found out about this person and found out what he was doing and these places that he has worked. What is his record? What is his overall demeanor on the job? And it's really, really, really tragic. We got some guests that are going to be coming in on today, talking about our various subjects, especially this one I'm going to bring in a little bit. Our friend of our show that has participated and has been listening from day one, and to get their opinions about things. We have also a wonderful listener that I'm going to bring forth with you that will give their opinions about the stories of today. And this is really tragic, folks. This is really heartbreaking, because this woman, she calls for help, and instead of getting help, she got the unalivement of took her life. And it is so sad. It's so tragic. And we have to warn you. I'm putting a trigger warning out there as we speak. I don't have it on the screen, but there's a trigger warning. There has been some editing, and we're going to just briefly listen to the audio that was released by the Illinois State Police in this situation. And we'll be back in 1 second after we listen to this tragedy. Stand by.
Body cam footage released by the Sangamon County State Attorney's Office shows the final moments of Sonia Massey's life, the Springfield area woman who was fatally shot by one of the responding deputies to a 911 call she made. Massey called 911 because she thought an intruder was in her home, according to the lawyer representing her family.
We checked your yard, we walked around the whole block, we didn't see anybody.
Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson and another deputy responded to the call around 12:50 a.m., authorities said. The deputies searched the property and found no intruder. The deputies then asked Massey to check on a pot of boiling water on the stove.
We don't get fire while we're here.
Right.
Huh? Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from the hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would refuse you in the name of Jesus. I refuse you in the name of
Better I swear to God, I'll straight your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot! And drop the pot! I'm gonna go get my kid. No, headshot, dude. She's done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot. God damn it. God. Yeah, I'm not head. Hey, look, it came right to our feet, too.
Grayson had on 3 counts of first-degree murder and a count each of aggravated battery with a firearm and official misconduct.
I am horrified. I am truly, truly horrified that this woman that called for assistance and asked for help, she turned off the stove. In the video, it shows it. She turns off the stove and put the water away. She didn't want to cause a fire or whatever the case may be. An officer was talking to her, and All she was doing was pouring the water in the sink. She was pouring it in the sink, folks. And this man, because she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, loses her life. The lady wasn't throwing the water. She wasn't saying that, get out of my house, or saying that, or showing any kind of signs of aggression. It was tragic. A mother trying to protect her home and her family, calling for assistance, and this tragedy and this terrible situation happens. It's heartbreaking, folks. What's wrong with law enforcement? What's wrong with sensitivities trainings? All these things that we have going on, and here's an officer who's been at a total of 5 agencies. They should have checked him out. They should have found out what was he doing, get his personnel records to find out what was his, what was going through his head. It's tragic to see. Now, questions have come up, and people are speculating, why does she have the water in there? Well, the lady was pouring the water out of her pot. She was turning off the stove at the instructions of the officers. The officers. Her family is heartbroken. Her child that she has that left behind are saying, why did this have to happen to our loved one? Why? With the people that we call to help us. I want them to come. If I call 911, please come. That means something is wrong somewhere. Law enforcement is saying that, law enforcement analysts are saying that the 36-minute body cam video, and I like to give a shout out to the Illinois State Police for not holding this back, for not hiding anything, but actually showing no cover up here. You can see that they fired him. He's fired. They should have done more than fire. And also he's held without bond. The authorities have held him without bond. He's not going anywhere. This was purely unalivement right there on camera. CNN was trying to interview, and they were taking a closer look. And as I said, they were digging and into this man's history, and the things that they found was the abuse of power. He has 2 DUIs, so he's driving around drunk and everything that he did plead guilty for. And they said, well, isn't that a reason that they should take him? He shouldn't be a police officer according to Illinois professional standards. The agency that regulates police certifications say that is not a disqualifying act in a person's life. If they have, I don't know whether it's misdemeanor. I don't think nothing happened. He just got pulled over for being drunk. An officer of the law, someone that's supposed to keep the laws of the United States and of the state of Illinois. You're driving around illegally drunk, thinking that you are privileged to walk around with a badge in your wallet, and you can drive around drunk. You can. I once watched and I saw a police car pull over somebody and said, your tail light is out, but his headlights were out. And a person that I know, and they said they went to court and they told us, well, his headlight was out, and he came at me about a tail light. So, I mean, who's wrong? Didn't give him a warning, gave him a $275 ticket. It was dismissed. Is there two sets of justices? Is there two sets of justices in this world? One for the police and one for the citizens? Now, let me explain this to everybody. I have people in law enforcement in my family, some dear people that work in law enforcement that are a part of my family. I'm not dissing or putting down police officers, but there's a lot of things that are going on, even in our area, that even in the area of the radio station signal. There's so many things, and you hear so many things about people losing their being unalived and being hurt and assaulted by law enforcement officers. I take my hat off to good officers. I take my hat off to those that are upholding the law. But I get disturbed when I see that this man who has all of these violations, leaving this agency, going here, going there, doing what we do. You know, they had no idea that this person was not qualified to be an officer. Gun ho, pull your gun out. And the lady, all she said was, I rebuke you in the name. I rebuke him too in the name of Jesus, the devil, okay? Or something. Evil person. That's all she said. I rebuke you. Oh, you rebuking me, I'll do such and such. You heard it. I refuse to play it again. I know that some of you had to get the replay to hear it. And all she was doing was attempting to pull the water off of the stove that was on and talk to the police officer. He's asking for her ID and asking for her to do certain things. So she was trying to obey the commands of the officer. I called you for help, sir. I called you for help. And this is what we get when we call for help. Is this what happens when we call you, officer? They should have checked this man out. Out of all the good apples, all it takes is one apple to spoil the whole bunch. Our thoughts and prayers are with this family and any family that has gone through tremendous tragedies of unalivement that we have seen over the past weeks and over the past years. Let me say this as a commentator. And like I said, and I'll always say, the views that are expressed are mine as a commentator, independent journalist, broadcaster, and it does not reflect any views of the broadcasting station or any other mechanism that has broadcast our show. Listen, we have to get ourselves together as a community. And I'm going to specifically speak to the African American Black community. We need to get ourselves together, and we need to clean out and sweep our own front doors before we can talk about anybody else. We got to get to the root of our own problems and stop a lot of the foolishness that goes on. What does this have to do with this story, James? I'm glad that you asked. You know something? There are a lot of things that go on, and the stereotypes that people put out there about Black people. There are several things that I can say. There are several things that other people can say. And they say that we're this, we're that, we're that. I'm tired of people putting us in the box and thinking, one, that we're not educated, two, that we're not professional, three, there are plenty of people, African-American people, that have businesses, running corporations, living their lives, paying their taxes, doing what they have to do. But then, and there's some in our community that really needs to get themselves together. As I said before, on last week, there was an incident that happened right in our listening area of domestic situations that had happened, and the unalivement of family members and a little child in the vicinity seeing her parent become unalived. Folks, we got to get ourselves together. Down there in Clarksdale, Mississippi, they're doing all kinds of, and I was horrified that people that I used to go to church with back then, they're victims of this thing. What's going on? These guns got to come off of the street. We got to get these guns off the street. We got to get these guns off the street. And even if we get them off the street, we got to change the way that we're thinking about the things that are going on in our community. Let that be the thought. This person this officer that committed this crime, this unalivement, his record was bad. Nobody checked him. Nobody checked to see what type of person he was. They just gave him a job. They gave him a job. Oh, well, buddy, come on over here and you can work over here with us and you can do this and that. We don't worry about a background check. We don't care what happened. Oh, okay, you did have a little incident with two DUIs, but that's only a misdemeanor. We're going to look over that and we'll give you a badge and gun in a car and you go ahead and you're a certified police. So just because you're certified doesn't mean that you practice in the right way. Just because a doctor is a doctor can cause malpractice and do some wrongdoing if he's not right in doing the right judgment. All of us are subject to do wrong. I'm not saying and preaching to you and telling you that, oh, everybody is perfect. No, but there's something that has to be done. We have to have less and less of this. I don't care if the woman was another color. That was wrong what that officer did, and that officer needs to be held accountable for. This is the morning takeover, WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is James Mack, and I'm going to come back. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned to the morning takeover.
92.7. Tune in. Don't delay. Political news and the community updates on the morning takeover. Stream live. Stay awake. Like and subscribe. He got the content all the time. Share with your crew. Live on YouTube. Don't be shy. He's got the facts straight. Never leads you wrong. James Mack, breaking news before the final call. From city lights to the small towns beat, bringing stories real and raw. Now, notice me on the morning takeover. It's your daily fix. Tune in or you'll miss the ever-rolling mix. From the Capitol Hill to your neighborhood block. James Mack on the airwaves, always on the clock. He's the man on the street with every beat.
And we're back. I'm James Mack. I'm your man on the street. And this is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. Each and every day, we will be on from 9 a.m. until about 10:20 a.m., giving you information and inspiration. And I'm asking you that listen to me and listen to us on the air to continue to support our show. I'm so happy to see that we're catching on. I get emails and I get phone calls from those of you all that are in the bushes. You know, y'all be watching and creeping around. There's some good, and then there's some people that they just want to see what you're going to say. Are you going to say anything controversial? I've never been a controversial person or a sensationalist or a gossip columnist. And I know that we stream, our broadcast is streamed on YouTube, and we have a great YouTube audience. I'd like to say hello to all of you that are a part of our show. I'd like to welcome all of you that are here. Those of you that are at work, I know that you can't listen openly. Y'all behave yourselves. Don't get in any kind of trouble or anything. And there's some people that are coming off of the night shift, and they're driving in their cars, and they send me texts and say, hey, I can hear you. WKRA is a wonderful station. I'd like to thank our station President and CEO, Ms. Autry. We want to thank them, thank their wonderful staff for giving us an opportunity to express how to give the public an opportunity to express themselves on radio. One of the rights that we have in this country that I'm praying that we will continue to have is the First Amendment. Now, the First Amendment doesn't give you just all kind of carte blanche to say all kind of things that are outrageous and things like that, or to try to bring harm or anything like that. The freedom of the press. I'm not a sleaze press person. I'm not a gossip columnist. I'm a broadcaster and a journalist, and a broadcast journalist. I could have put that together. And my job is to bring the facts, and the facts only. My opinion, the opinions that I might have as a commentator may not be yours. So that's why we try to give you an opportunity to come on and express your views and to give your comments and to give you an opportunity to express yourselves. And I just want to thank all of our listeners, and also for you that have businesses and services that you would like to get out in the airways. This is a great place to start. We have some great people that are going to be joining, advertisers, people that will be supporting our broadcast. And if you have a business, if you have a service that you would like to have mentioned on the air, please get into the chat. Let me know. We are setting up everything for everybody to be able to notification of some kind to let me know that you would like your service announced. Once again, like we said, we're on the morning takeover. This is James Mack on WKRA. And also, on tomorrow, we have a special guest that's going to be coming on, and she will be talking about some mental health services. Listen, folks, there are people out there that really need these services, and they're limited in our area. And we got to be able to deal with different situations and different problems, just like what's going on right now with the former story that we were talking about. And there's some benefits that are out there that that we need to know about, and there's some services that are going to be provided. And in the chat, we're going to be talking about, in our next segment, we're going to be talking about, is America ready for a woman president? And as you all know, that recently the vice president has been confirmed and has secured enough delegates in the Democratic Party to become the nominee of the party for president of the United States. But there are people that are undecided. There are even people that are a part of the Republican Party that are a little uneasy about this woman becoming president. And there was a discussion on MSNBC, our sister media stations. And when I say that, we're broadcasters, and that's why I try to give respect to them. And on here, on this interview, they were in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and what they were doing, they was trying to gauge the audience, and they was trying to gauge everyone to see if what their reaction is going to be with the news and the announcement that Vice President Harris is going to be the nominee, and they have some concerns. And all of us we should check out the people that are running for office in our local areas and for Congress and for governor, and even in your alderman, your school board, or whatever the case may be. You ought to find out where those people stand and what they will do and what kind of services that they would provide. But this was an interesting interview that was done by MSNBC. We're going to share just a little sound bite of this, and we'll go forward. Listen to this interview, and then we're going to come back with our guests, and we're going to have this discussion. All right.
Bush, White House and State Department, Elise Jordan, she's an MSNBC political analyst, and she sat down with Wisconsin voters last night to get their thoughts on the election. So first, Elise, tell us about who these voters are that you spoke with.
Hi, Mika. So last night I sat down with two groups of Wisconsin voters, the all-important voters in this state where around 20,000 votes decided the last two presidential elections. We spoke to a group of female Trump supporters, and then we spoke to a group of right-leaning swing voters to hear what they thought about the recent shakeup in the election and how they see the campaign. Now, Mika, I will say that I had been in Wisconsin about a month ago doing similar focus groups, and I was really shocked at what a burst of energy the new nomination of Vice President Harris has given the race, in the sense of how the Trump supporters responded and how the swing voters responded. So I'm excited for everyone to hear directly from the voters at this important moment.
Right. So let's listen to one of the groups you spoke with. Women Trump supporters in Wisconsin. I'll say it again. Women Trump supporters in Wisconsin. Here's some of what they had to say to you about Vice President Kamala Harris.
Hellman's real mayonnaise. Every dollop is.
We didn't want that particular.
Having Vice President Kamala Harris as the nominee dramatically changes Donald Trump's odds of winning.
I'm worried about it.
Yes. I think she's going to go for the minority and female and younger voters. Progressive.
Everybody's excited about her, and that scares me. You know, because Trump has to reconfigure where he's going and how they're going to outsmart her.
How do you perceive Vice President Harris compared to President Biden in terms of competency and experience?
I think she's worse. She doesn't even know what's going on at the border.
Right.
And that's what she was
supposed to be doing
and then charge them. I mean, as a school teacher, if I did not do what I was supposed to be doing, you better believe my job would be in jeopardy. Well, it isn't. It not only was her job not in jeopardy, she was just handed a promotion.
Is there anyone that Kamala Harris could appoint as her vice president that you would find reassuring? Would make you consider voting for her?
No. I would know RFK Jr. way before that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And she's not the first woman to run for the presidency, Hillary Clinton. I'm assuming no one voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016. So it's not necessarily going to sway you to vote for a woman in office. When do you think America will have a female president?
When there's a competent one.
I don't get a good feel for her.
I think she's an idiot.
Right. Mary, why do you think that she's not that bright?
Because she hasn't done anything in the time that she's had. We don't know anything about her as far as her 3 years so far in the White House. She's not real smart. That's my opinion. It could be wrong.
If Vice President Kamala Harris wins the election, do you think that will be an honest result?
No.
No one respects her.
Okay. You heard for yourself. You can't say that we did not give give an opportunity for other people to express themselves. And now these are Republican voters geared towards supporting the former president, and you heard it for yourself. People are nervous and upset and saying that what is he going to do? I'm scared and all these other things. Is that a fair assessment? Is there a fair assessment of this woman that has so many milestones and has done so much work and has earned, let me quote unquote say, earned the right to run as president of the United States? She's already won once. She was on the ticket with President Biden, and she's a part of the Biden administration. She's a part of it. She's the vice president. If anything happened, if anything occurred that will prevent or would have prevented the president from doing his duty, she's automatically in line to take the reins of the presidency. Secondly, they were saying, he should drop out and let her be president. All those things, and it's a long interview. I don't want to give too much credence to it. It's a pretty lengthy interview, but I wanted to give you that snapshot of that main portion of it. It was like maybe 8 or 9, maybe 8, I guess, women of Caucasian women that were sitting there. And I think it was it was 7 of them. And you'll be amazed that there was no one that was a person of color or any other nationality. And I'm not knocking anybody. Let me tell you this right now. Y'all already know that I'm not going to do that today. I think and I feel as a broadcast journalist to give fair and balance, allow the facts to be laid on the table. And this is their response, and they have a right to say what they say and feel what they feel, as we and as anybody else has also. I have 2 guests. I said what I said. She's here. That that she's been a part of our morning takeover family. I'm really grateful for her. And we also have, y'all been saying this to me in the bushes, wait a minute, we hear you, we like your voice, all those other things. Well, we have Brother Lee is with us, and both of those of our guests that are here, they've been waiting patiently for me to come up, and I want to hear what they have to say. So good morning to you, Brother Lee. Are you there?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, brother?
How are you, Brother Lee? Okay, and I said what I said. Where are you? Where are you? Stand by. Where are you? Are you there?
Yes. I am here.
Morning. Good morning, Lee.
All right, I got 2. Good morning. Good morning to both of you. Listen, as we come together and listen to this, as we just listened to the interview that was given, these people say that they are concerned and they are worried, and they, that because of this candidacy that Mr. Trump better get on his job. I want to know, first of all, and we'll let the lady go first. I said what I said. I'd like to get your opinion about what you just heard in this interview. Are you scared that there's a woman that's going to possibly be president?
No, I'm ecstatic about it. And they just sit there and contradicted themselves. They said everybody is excited and Trump is going to have to change course and figure out how he's going to win the race. But when she asked if she do win, will it be legitimate? And they said no. So, make it make sense. Either everybody's excited, or either the election is not going to be legitimate. So they're contradicting themselves. And it sounds like dog whistles to me. If she's not qualified, she's more qualified than Trump ever thought about being qualified. She's been a prosecutor, she's been an attorney general, and she's been a senator. Trump has no government experience at all. All he is a failed reality star. That's a fraudster. That's a convicted felon. And and he's been deceiving the public, and he's a grifter. And so they prefer to have, as long as he's a white man, then I guess it's okay. He can, just like the cop, they can have anything on their record, any blemish on their record is okay. But if it's a qualified person of color, they have to go beyond, and they have to go beyond the call of duty in their record. I don't know what else they want on her resume to
Do
make
you
her
think that
qualified.
okay, one of the persons that was interviewed said something that was that she said that she was afraid that they were holding back information. It's on along the interview, and I'm going to put the link to the interview on in our chat to let you go to it yourself to hear the full interview. I think it needs to be watched. That they are afraid now. They are afraid now. They were talking about President Biden. He was old and senile and all these other things, and they're blaming the administration from hiding some things. Brother Lee, do you think that people have been that the administration has, first of all, has been hiding anything? And give us your brief thoughts. Give us your thoughts on how you feel about this historic moment that we're in.
I'm very, first, I'd like to say, welcome to the other guest and you've done a great job at what you're doing and continue to do what you're doing. I like to say that as far as Ms. Harris, VP Harris, she has outstanding credentials. I'm very excited. I'm over the top. She's Obama 2.0. This woman will get the job done. She is only judged because she is a woman, and I think the Republicans are afraid because they vote Republican regardless of what the candidate is, what their candidate is. I mean, Donald Trump, you take that guy, I mean, he has no qualifications whatsoever. I wouldn't want him running a lemonade stand. But actually, when he was in office, he gave the rich tax breaks. Did you feel that tax break? Middle class and lower middle class and all of us, we didn't feel it, but the rich felt it. And that's what's supporting Donald Trump. The rich has never been for the middle class and other classes of this United States. And we got to understand that he has his finger on the button when he was in office. Do you know the generals, they lived in their uniforms because they were afraid of what he might do while they were sleeping. So they slept in their
You
clothes.
you say they slept in they was ready to roll, man.
They were ready to roll. They could not leave him alone for a minute. It's like watching a baby. It was like nursery school, daycare. He was like a daycare center. I mean, when you got people like that, a man like that in office, come on. But you want him actually. He has no respect over the world. No one respects him. He's a knee-jerk president when he was in office. He sees something, he knee-jerk to it. He gets there, he insults his candidate. It insults his opposition with
Hmm.
childlike behavior. He doesn't talk
Yeah.
about the issues because he doesn't know them. I don't want to take up too much of the time about that. I'll let you
No, I
continue.
got you. But
But
I
but
want you to
Can
stay
I
with us though.
interject
Don't go
something
nowhere.
else?
I want you to come in. Come on in. I said I was waiting for you. Come on in here with that.
Right. Let
Come
me
on.
interject this. What diagnosis have Biden had? They're saying that they're hiding something. What have he been diagnosed with other than being old and a little tired and need a nap? What is his diagnosis or prognosis? Nobody has declared him with dementia or anything. The only thing that he's been declared with was the C-19. Other than that, there's nothing wrong with Biden. Just the older you get, the more naps you need. And he was, the job may be in a little bit too much for him, but he's been doing the job for 3 years. So I don't understand all of a sudden why he's not qualified and why he can't do the job that he's been doing for 3 years. And just to piggyback off of what Lee said, are we better off than we were 4 years ago when Trump was in office? Because keep in mind, when he was in office, I'm pretty sure almost every American had someone to pass away in their family. And if it wasn't in their family, then they know somebody that's not here that was that experienced the C-19 in the Trump administration. So I think people totally forgot. And those little stimulus checks that he passed out, those are breadcrumbs. Like Lee said, those are breadcrumbs that he offered to America. Meanwhile, the billionaires and millionaires just racked up. Therefore, their portfolios just, was blown out the water with the money that they made off of people. So give me a break with all of this.
Hey, Lee, I wanted to ask, and I want to say this, I know that you're a entrepreneur, you're a businessman, and you have various businesses that you have operated over many, many years, very successful businessman. How was the administration, the Trump administration's approach to business? How did his plan and his the things that he put forth, how did it affect your business? How did it help your business? Did it help it, or what have you? I'd like to know.
Well, the thing is, when COVID hit, COVID devastated a lot of businesses. I mean, when you got a president that's in charge of these things, such as COVID, and he tells people to drink bleach, he says, let's have the sick pass away and the strong survive. That was his strategy. And when you have that, you're losing businesses out there by the thousands. And this is what we have left due to him being in office. I'm telling you, it did not help. When you got the COVID ran rampant when he was in office. He got on CNN and said, drink bleach. That'll do it. I mean, this is crazy. He didn't listen to any of his medical staff, any of that. He spit out stuff from the top of his head. Why would you want somebody like that? Even if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, atheist, Baptist, you wouldn't want this guy in office. That's crazy. Just because he's a white guy and you feel secure because he's white, your kids, look at it like this. I want to say this real quick. Your grandkids are going to suffer for the consequences, for the actions of Donald Trump. Your grandkids are going to suffer. He did not serve any armed forces. He didn't do any kind of public service. He's done nothing. This man he ran his own business in the ground. He started a school, it failed. A college, he calls it, a university. I mean, he's not run anything successful. He took his daddy's money and he took it and he dissipated that, decimated that. So what makes him qualified? Because he had a TV show? That's crazy. He's funny. Yeah, they can elect another comedian. I mean, better than him if they want a comedian. I mean, but you're talking about running the country. Miss Harris is so qualified. She'll take this country in the right direction. And we got to look at that, not her skin color, not her sex. We got to do it with common sense and do your homework. Look into her background, look into his, and find out what you want. He hid in a bunker.
Now, he hid in the bunker. Tell us about that part, just what you were saying.
He hid in a bunker. Black Lives Matters, they weren't violent at all. But he hid in a bunker, said he was inspecting the bunker. Oh, now he has a contracting license. Now he has a degree in how to build a bunker. I mean, he's an engineer now. He's in the bunker inspecting it. Really, he's 100 stories down in a bunker, afraid. Really, this is what we want to lead the country.
Yeah. What I want to ask is this of both of you all. Why are people so afraid? You brought out some points that the qualifications, that the vice president in her career and in her life, she's a lawyer, prosecutor, she was attorney general, senator of one of our largest population state of California, and she achieved and the ceiling has been, I say, she broke the ceiling because the position of vice president is doggone near, if something happens, is president. She would have had to step in line if there was a diagnosis, if there was something wrong physically or whatever that the president could not fulfill his duty and live up to his oath. That person would step in. They call that the line of succession. My question is, listening to these ladies, listening to and they sitting there and they look, and the look on their faces of sheer horror, almost like, oh my, the enthusiasm and the money and the fundraising and the excitement that it has, as they say, woke up everybody. And now all of this is happening, and we're in jeopardy of not getting him in. What I want to hear from the two of you, and to see what is your opinion? Why are these people in particular afraid, and many that are like him, and over, I say, about 30% of the country, why are they afraid of this woman? I said what I said.
Because she's like Lee said, she's overqualified. She's electrified the country, because nobody was really happy about the choices that we had. They pressured Joe Biden to get out the race because the numbers were failing, and it's only because of propaganda of people saying that he was too old and feeble, and Kamala is running the country. So which one is it? Can she run the country, or can she not run the country? And as far as him being funny, she laughs all the time. So they're, complaining about her laughing all the time. So you can't have it both ways. And so
is that just a laugh or a smile? It was just they mad because of her beautiful smile. Forgive me, y'all. I ain't mean to say it like that though. But are they, they criticizing her because of her smile and her appeal, her appeal to people?
They have nothing else, James. I told you when you asked us what they were going to run on, and they're going to run on racism and misogynistic views, because they have nothing else. There's nothing that they could talk about other than her being a woman and her being a person of color, and they're afraid of that. When Obama was in office, they hated Obama, and Obama was like one of the most consequential presidents that we had. And one more thing, Trump's vice president is not backing him up. None of his generals are backing him up. Everybody that he had in his cabinet, nobody has come out and endorsed him. And so that should tell you something. And let's keep in mind, when he did lose the election, he had a noose, on the White House grounds at the Capitol, ready to hang his vice president, because his vice president wouldn't break the law.
Wow, brother Lee, I just want to know: are you afraid of this lady? Are you scared of her? Are you gonna run in the corner, like these other people? Are you paranoid, or you having anxiety? Do you have to go see a therapist or something? Are you in that position?
Not at all. Not at all. I'm excited in a good way. I'm ecstatic in a great way. We have an opportunity here. This is an opportunity for the country to do the right thing, to put us in the right direction. It's taken us a while to get here. Now that we're here, we have an opportunity. Don't waste it. Don't squander it. You got her compared. They're comparing her to Donald Trump, saying, "Well, here is Donald Trump and here's VP Harris." There's no comparison. Here's a child, which is Donald Trump, and here's a grown up, which is Miss Harris, VP Harris, extremely qualified, will do a great job. Don't don't not elect her because she's a woman. Don't not elect her because she is a person of color. And that's the thing. We've always, when we've had an opportunity to people of color, we have elevated that situation. You look at, for instance, look at Serena and Venus. They're less than 1% of 1% of 1% in tennis, and they managed to be the greatest tennis players that ever played the game. You got President Obama, less than 1% of 1% that ever ran for that office and won. And look at him. He's the greatest president ever, even with the opposition he had in that office. He's done some great things. So seize the opportunity. Don't seize the racism. Don't seize that that don't buy into that, because the rich want you to vote for Donald Trump. Now, okay, if you thought the rich people were looking after you and you felt it and everything, well, yeah, vote for Donald Trump. If you think the rich will look after you, because that's what he's for. So if you want somebody to look after your grandkids, your kids, and make sure they have a great future, then this VP Harris is the one. But if you don't care about the future of this country and your grandkids and your kids and your future, well, then you vote for that idiot. And you get him in there, and believe me, this won't be a country anymore. This will be some nightmare.
Yeah.
If you want a nightmare, you'll get it.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to just say, I mean, this is a real good. I'm glad that we have this opportunity to continue this, man, and the chat is going off. Those of you that are in the chat, give your opinions, and if I'll put them up on the screen for those of you that are in our YouTube community, and for those of you that are listening on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. We're having an open discussion about and responding to Republican voters that have anxiety and some things that they are concerned about, about VP Harris and her qualifications and who she is and why they don't want her. And then we also have our wonderful guests. I said what I said, and also Lee that are our guests that are talking about. We're discussing and talking about and having an open conversation about this great historic event that has happened on Sunday with the endorsement and the baton being passed to for leadership to the Vice President of the United States. We're going to take our last break. I'm asking that my guests, y'all going to stick around. Y'all don't mind sticking around. Have I treated you well? I hope y'all stick around now. Are y'all all right?
I'm good.
Y'all going to stick around? Stay. I want y'all to stay.
I have to bow out. I have to bow out because I got other previous.
You're a businessman, I know. Okay, but Lee, before I take our break, I want you to give any parting words that you have. I said what I said. If you can stick around, please do. If you can, I'd appreciate it. Lee, I want you to first of all thank you for participating this morning, taking time out of your schedule. I know that you have deadlines that you have to meet. I would say he's a business owner, a very successful one, a wonderful person. And just good brother that he will give us this time that he has. So, Lee, I want you to give your last parting words to our listeners about how you feel and where you stand on this issue this morning.
First, I'll speak to the first issue about that tragic death of that wonderful sister. And I would say, listen, I have a solution for that problem, and that's have the police and law enforcement be insured. If they was insured first before they became a police officer, they would be vetted extensively and they wouldn't pass. And we would only get the best police officers if they had insurance. And if they was insured, this would not happen. Then I would like to say about Donald Trump, I say, come on, he's a dummy, he's a fool, he's a comedian. If you want a comedian, you want a good laugh, and when the house is burning down, you elect him. Because he'll make you laugh and make you cry at the same time while he's burning down your house. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Lee. Hey, man, listen, you have a wonderful day. Thank you for participating with us. That's our dear, one of our listeners that has had been with listening to us for such a while. That's Brother Lee. I said what I said. I want you to stick around. Can you stick around as we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back after our announcement. You're listening to The Morning Takeover with James Mack, your man on the street, on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. We'll be right back.
From coast to coast, a voice you can trust. He'll never fold. James Mack on the wave, every morning, every day. Got the 92.7. Tune in. daily fix. Tune in or you'll miss the ever-rolling mix. From the Capitol Hill to your neighborhood block, James Mack on the airwaves, always on the clock. He's the man on the street with every beat, delivering the truth.
And we're back on the morning takeover. I'm James Mack, your wonderful host, and I'm just glad that we got this opportunity to be able to come back to you again. I hope that you're enjoying our show this morning. I'd like to thank everybody that's let me give a little disclaimer and everything. Listen, I'm hoping that once we're looking at options to get a call-in line. I'm looking at some various services that we can use so that we can get more participation on our show. I appreciate anybody that's listening, that you've given us this opportunity to just engage and to give you an opportunity to express your even your concerns, even to your encouragements or whatever you would have to say. This is People Helping People, 92.7 on your FM dial. Once again, this is WKRA. On tomorrow, we're going to have a guest. Miss Christine Williams is going to come on, and she's going to talk about her vast experience. She has over 18 years actively in the mental health community, assisting persons with mental illness and getting them the necessary help that they need. There are a lot of things and stress and strains. Because you're seeking mental health services does not mean that you're, as they say, insane or anything like that. There are various levels and steps that people need to have. Maybe some counseling, maybe needing to talk to someone. Maybe there's an adolescent or someone that might need that help. The things that are going on today, there are a lot of pressures. There are a lot of things that are happening. And we want to be able to provide you with the information that you need. So Christine is going to come on tomorrow and give us her outlook and her overlook of mental health services that are available within our region and also in our nation. Once again, those of you that have services, those of you that have businesses and things that you would like to let people know about and you would like to come and ask, you can come on our platform and give us an opportunity to present your business. This is good ground for you to do it. If you would like to be an advertiser or sponsor on our platform, on our show, we would gladly have you. We're going to be doing some things and implementing some things real soon that will give you an opportunity to do that. I have on with us still, I said what I said, our wonderful guest that we have here, a faithful listener to our show, have participated on many platforms, and she's just a real outgoing and real good person that even those that have listened to us on our show each and every day, that they hear. And we're just glad that she's a part of us. And I said what I said. I want to ask you a question, and maybe you can help me out here. And I asked this Brother Lee about what is the fear? What's wrong? Is there really anything wrong? And we listened to and got the opinions of these voters. And I want to know from you and the things that you hear. Why do you think people have? Now, they had the president and they gave him a rough time. He had a horrible debate, I know, and maybe because he was ill or some things like that. But why is this concern? Why are people that are in various places so afraid of Vice President Harris becoming president?
Because she's the future, James. You're looking, Trump is the past and Harris is the future. And America, a lot of people in America, and I won't say everybody, but it's some people in America don't want to face the truth. Um, America is very diverse, and a Congress have represented one class of people, and now that the other populations in America is participating in Congress, they don't like that, and also diversity is becoming the main uh, population, and unfortunately, the Caucasians are not the main class anymore. America's field is a field with a diverse of people, a diversity of people of color, and it's not just black people. We have Asian, we have Indian, we have all type of diverse races in America, and a lot of people don't want to accept that. And I believe that's what the fear is, and they see how Kamala raised all this money within 24 hours, which is historic. That's the most money that any candidate has raised in America since politics has begun. And so they see the electricity, they see the excitement, and let's keep in mind they had the upper hand when Biden was uh, the nominee. They knew they had that wrapped up in the bag, and so we threw a monkey in their wrench, and they are not happy about it because they just knew that they were going to win the election, and Biden was down in the polls, and so now that Kamala, she's down in the polls, but Biden was down, 4 or 5 points in a lot of the swing states, but Kamala is only down 1 or 2 points, and all of it is within the margin of error. And so they see that she's going to inspire people. She's inspired a lot of people, and and Trump has made a lot of people tired. So it's the inspired versus the tired. It's the past versus the future. And like you said, if you want America to go on and be great and to move into the future, then Harris is your candidate. But if you want a dictator that's going to run your life, personally, because at the end of the day, the president is really not supposed to be the government is not supposed to be in your home. Government is supposed to govern. Govern the United States. They're supposed to make choices that's good for you. Trump make choices that's good for him and his billionaire friends. And so um, that's what they're afraid of. They're afraid that
Yeah.
they're afraid that they're not the major population anymore, unfortunately. Or fortunately.
Yeah. It's devastating to hear some of the opinions and some of the judgments that people have of this great public servant. And I don't, my thing is, I don't have whether she's whatever party, Republican, Democrat, or independent, or whatever the case may be, she has a stellar record. And, they've been making, I wouldn't put down, Donald Trump has a right to run as president. Anybody that's qualified and meet the criteria, they have that right. They have that opportunity to participate in the political process. I'm just disturbed because I think that a lot of people have just, I don't know whether it's, is it racism, or is it that you just don't want, no matter what, she could be the greatest genius, greatest political mind ever. And it just seems like, and I'm not saying everybody is going to agree with it, just everybody. I have my opinions, and I have my thoughts that I have. And as we see this morning, we have other people that have their thoughts and their feelings about it. All thoughts and all feelings should be represented and should be respected. And I think that a lot of times we fail to realize that um, we have we have an opinion. This is the most consequential news that we have, and with everything that's going on in our communities and in our country today, we really have to take a real look at what is occurring and what is happening. And I'm just afraid that if we pass up this opportunity to really look. And I mean, it doesn't take much for us to see. That's my opinion, but it doesn't take much for us to see and to look and to do our research. We research other people. There's some, even in some messy situations, there's some people that do some messy things to try to hurt people and try to humiliate people. But you know something? We need to take that same energy and that same zeal and look at the candidates. Find out who's running for your school board. Find out who's running your offices and running your county assessors, your supervisors, your mayors, your aldermen, your senators and representatives, your governor. Who's your attorney general? Do we know these people? Are we aware of these people, who they are? And we see today that the excitement. I'm excited that because I felt really it was a boring, it was going to be something like, man, we got to go through this and be drugged here and drugged there. And these people sitting here, and there was no lightning bolt that came through to say, hey, we got to do something. And on Sunday, we got a lightning bolt. We got an opportunity to see that the political situation has changed, and now men and women have that right. We have a right, if we're qualified to run for office. Yeah, you have to state your case and campaign and everything, but should we be demeaning people just because we're nervous and upset that the other opponent is nervous and upset because they know that the qualifications of this person and that this person is a stand-up person, that they're a formidable opponent? That's right. Okay, well, you got to get into the ring and let's see the best person win. And based upon the facts, based upon what they're presenting, is what the vice president presenting enough for us? Is what the Mr. Trump presenting himself, is that enough for us to make a conscious decision? Is this the person that we want to represent us? There's just some questions that we have, and it's nothing wrong with having questions, and there's nothing wrong with having opinion. As I said, and I stated before, as we get ready to wind down this Wednesday, I'd like to ask our audience this question as you're listening to me. What are your anxieties? What are the things that concern you? And when you discover and figure out what those things are, I would recommend, as a remedy, do your homework. Do your homework. These people that are being selected to be the leaders of our country have to lead. Whoever comes out the winner will be the leader of this country. What do we want as a people? Do we want to isolate ourselves and say that one segment of our country is superior, or another person or people are superior over another? Or are we going to come together to keep this land safe, to make sure and hope and pray that we all succeed in the things that we're doing? Will we be able to have the ability to live our lives? Will, as Lee said, will our grandchildren and children and future generations, will they be pleased with the decision that we will make in this coming election? And there's just those questions that we have. Once again, I want to thank you. I said what I said, for being here. Thank you to Lee, who had took out his time to come and say hello to us. I'd like to thank the chat, everybody that's in there. Hello and good morning to you. To our listening audience on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial, to everyone that's listening within our region, I want to thank everybody for participating and listening. Hey, listen, catch us on tomorrow. Miss Christine is going to be on with her information about mental health services. And also, we're going to be sharing some other things with you. Thank you all for being here and giving us this opportunity to be able to share with you on the morning takeover on 92.7 on your FM dial. Thank you. I said what I said. Keep listening, keep participating. You're always welcome here on the morning takeover. Hey folks, have a good day. Be good to each other. And also, it doesn't cost you anything to be nice. It doesn't cost you one dime. We'll see you on tomorrow on the morning takeover, 92.7 on your FM dial. That is WKRA.